took my sister's side without hesitation. When she told me her marriage was over, I didn't ask questions. I didn't doubt her. I just listened and believed every word she said. I thought loyalty meant standing beside her no matter what. I didn't realize that loyalty would eventually ask me to choose between love and truth. My sister and I have always been close. Not the dramatic kind of close, just steady and reliable. The kind where you don't need to explain yourself. When she showed up at my door that night with a suitcase in her hand and her eyes swollen from crying, I didn't need details. I let her in. I made tea. I listened. She said her marriage had been falling apart quietly for years. She said her husband had grown distant, that she felt invisible in her own home. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? Over the next few weeks, she filled in the story slowly and carefully. She never raised her voice. She never blamed him outright. She said things like, "He just stopped trying. I don't think he even sees me anymore. I tried to make it work." Those words are powerful. They don't sound like accusations. They sound like exhaustion. Our family rallied around her. So did I. I defended her when questions came up. I helped her organize paperwork. I reassured her when doubt crept in. I told her she was strong, that she deserved happiness, that leaving didn't make her a bad person. And at the time, I meant every word. About a month after she moved out, she asked me to hold on to a box of documents for her. She said the place she was staying didn't have much room. The box was heavier than it looked. Not physically, emotionally. I slid it into a corner and forgot about it until one quiet evening when I decided to organize it for her. It felt harmless, helpful, like everything else I had done for her. Most of the box was exactly what I expected. Bank statements, old bills, warranty papers. Then I noticed a book wedged near the bottom. It wasn't anything special. An old hardcover with a cracked spine. No dust jacket. No markings. Something about it made me pause. When I opened it, the pages felt thicker than they should have. That's when I noticed the folded paper tucked into the binding. It wasn't her husband's handwriting. It was hers. I recognized it instantly, the way you recognize your own name when you hear it spoken. At first I told myself it must be harmless. A journal, a place to vent. But as I read, the tone changed. The entries weren't sad. They weren't confused. They were deliberate. She wrote about feeling restless long before the marriage ended, about conversations she planned in advance, about testing his reactions. She wrote about someone else, someone she had been seeing quietly and carefully, someone who existed in her life while she was still sleeping beside her husband. I sat on the floor with the book open in my lap, reading words that rearranged everything I thought I knew. The tears she cried on my couch hadn't been lies exactly, but they hadn't been the full truth either. She hadn't been abandoned. She had been preparing. And suddenly, I wasn't just her sister anymore. I was part of the story she needed others to believe. I closed the book and sat there for a long time. Long enough for the house to go quiet. Long enough for the weight of it all to settle. I wasn't angry. I was grieving the version of her I thought I knew. I asked myself questions I never expected to face. If the truth hurts someone, do you still owe it to them? If silence protects your family, is it kindness or cowardice? And how much loyalty is too much? I didn't want to expose her, but I couldn't unsee what I had read. In the end, I made a quiet choice. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I waited. I listened more closely when she talked. I noticed how carefully she chose her words, how easily she let others believe she had been wronged. Weeks passed, and then one day, she asked me for a favor. She needed me to speak to someone on her behalf, to confirm her version of events, to make sure the story stayed intact. I told her I would. When the time came, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her. I didn't argue. I simply told the truth. I said there were things she hadn't shared, things that mattered, things that changed everything. I watched the color drain from her face as she realized I wasn't protecting her anymore. She tried to interrupt, tried to explain, tried to regain control, but it was too late. Because once the truth is spoken out loud, it can't be taken back. After that, she stopped calling, she stopped asking, she stopped pretending, and for the first time, the story wasn't hers to control. I learned something that day. The most dangerous truths aren't the ones we scream in anger. They're the ones we speak calmly. After we've decided we're done carrying the lie, they live quietly beneath the binding.